Well, on the Michelin stand, I'm talking to Pascal Couasnon, who's head of motorsports for Michelin. But it's much more than that. I mean, Michelin have been associated with motorsports as long as there have been motorsports, and you've always striven to transfer what you learn about tyres from race cars to road cars, and that seems to be the driving force.
Exactly that. What's very interesting is that if you look at the history of Michelin, since day one, we've been using that philosophy, which is being in sport at that time, because there was no motor, there was a bicycle, but really testing first, proving, and then demonstrating the superiority of the concept of the idea. So, for example, for the demountable tire, we used the Paris-Brest-Paris race with the bicycle to demonstrate the value of the innovation. Today, this is exactly the same thing. And I have to tell you that when we want to enter a new series, and when I go to the board asking for a little bit of budget, the first question I'm being asked is, what are you going to learn for the tire of tomorrow?
We know that you're not in Formula One currently, but you're in just about every other motorsport arena imaginable. Just run us through the list of genres that you're involved in.
Yeah, I'm very happy to have the support of the company, and sometime, and we'll see where we are, but I'm being asked, you are pretty much everywhere except Formula One. Is it because you don't know how to choose? No, quite the contrary. Every specific series has a meaning and a goal. We are involved in WRC, so rally. Here it's very interesting because we run in normal roads, and we have to develop one unique tire, or two as a matter of fact, hard and soft compound, which is going to work as well in Spain, in Germany, in China this year. So this is something where you need to be very versatile, and on the top of that, there are some big chocks or whatever, so we have to develop some material which are very, very strong. We are involved in sports car racing in Le Mans. Well, last weekend again, we were able to run more than 600 kilometers with one unique set of tire, and that with a degradation of performance of less than 1 second for the big lap around Le Mans. Again, constant of performance is very important for your car and my car. So you see the relation between what we try to develop. Now we are involved in Formula E. How to have a tire which is very performant in terms of lap time and grip, but also very efficient in terms of energy. And we have some very deep research project with our research center linked to Formula E. We are back in MotoGP. Okay. Here it's ultimate grip with sizes of wheels which are relevant to what you see on the street. So with these elements, you see that, yes, we are in many series, but each series has a very specific scientific goal.
Well, you touched there on Formula E, and one of my questions was going to be, as we move towards a hybrid and or electric car future, that clearly is, I guess, changing the nature of your product. You're certainly having to look at very, very much more closely the science of how tyres behave in those circumstances.
Yeah, and that's good news, is that it's becoming even more difficult in terms of challenge for the tyre. The more difficult it is, the happier we are, because then it's difficult to copy or to get there. So, yeah, the new aspect, I would say, with electric cars or hybrid is really to add even more energy efficiency in the tyre. The tyre represents 20% of the energy of your car. So you can imagine that if we can make some improvement on that specific side, it's going to be very, very relevant. So Formula E has been extremely important. The hybrid system in Le Mans is also very, very interesting. Very big torque. So we have to have a very resistant tyre, but also lighter and lighter also, because we use less raw material. So all that direction is very, very relevant for the future.
Le Mans that you refer to there, very much your proving ground. I mean, it's in your backyard, and you're just involved with most of the teams, so it would appear.
Yeah, what's interesting, just like in rally, Le Mans and WEC, World Endurance Championship, is an open competition. That's important to remind the people, is that anybody can come, and we are very glad to have some competitors in rally and in World Endurance Championship. But we have to admit that, and we are very proud that all the major teams are with Michelin, trust the technology of Michelin, and we work every day for that situation to stay for a long time.
Now, I'm going to ask you a much more fundamental question to end. We've been talking about road cars and touching on road cars. what are the things we all need to be learning to look after our tyres? Because I continually hear stories of people who neglect their tyres, they run them too flat, they run them too hard, they just don't look after the product. So however much you put into it to get a good product onto that car, if they don't look after it, it negates all of that.
Yeah, and thank you for asking this question, because I'm still convinced that the tyre, I know that the tyre is very, very important for a car, and that people don't realize how much they can do just by checking the pressure every month. It's safety, but it's also money. By having the proper inflation pressure, you save fuel or you save energy. You are sure that you are also in proper safety. So this is that. Also, buying the proper tyre is very important. I've known people, changing, suspensions or whatever to have a better feeling. First of all, just, change and use the proper tyre. Quality tyre is very important. And, obviously Michelin, but there are some other brands. Just think about the proper tyre. For now in the winter, also, change, put the proper, because if the temperature is lower, then you're going to have more efficient braking and so on and so forth. So the tire is the only contact between your car and the road. And when you realize that, it's worth not the spending, but the investment.
Thank you, Pascal. That's very good advice to end on. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.